You and I both know that you can be more. You can be significantly more, which is why you're watching videos like mine in the self-improvement space. You know you can be more. But a lot of the time, the thing that's stopping us from becoming more is that we're avoiding failure. We're avoiding being rejected. We're playing it too safe. A lot of the time, you know what you need to be doing, but you're not really pushing yourself out there like that simply because you don't want to be rejected and you don't want to feel, embarrassed, shall we say. You're too concerned about what other people think of you. And that's the thing that's going to be your undoing. It's holding you back from evolving the way that you can. And when we think about avoiding failure and when we think about avoiding being rejected, it's a valid fear. It's a valid thing to want to avoid, because when you think about it, whenever you get rejected, whether it be from like a girl that you really like, or there's a business deal they're trying to go for, and then you get, the person says no, naturally your mind goes into the mode where it tells yourself that, there's something wrong with you. It's like, I'm broken, you're not good enough. Those voices start coming, and they start coming to torment you. Right? And it's a natural thing to fear that, because like from an evolutionary standpoint, rejection meant certain death. So when you were like in the olden days in the tribe, when somebody got rejected by the tribe, it meant I'm all alone and no one's gonna come help me fight these saber-toothed tigers. I'm finished. That's what it meant. So you've still got that type of reptilian brain, right? Where your mind is thinking, we don't want to be rejected because rejection means danger and danger means certain death. We're finished. So your mind still thinks in that primitive way. But what's really important is that we condition ourselves and we train ourselves to reframe the way that we look at rejection. Because fundamentally, when you get rejected, you got to remember that it's not you being rejected. It's not the fullness of who you are that's being rejected, but it's more so the perception that a person has of you that they're rejecting. It's the perception that they hold. They don't know the full you. They don't know that you donate to all these dog charities. They don't know how good of a person that you are. They don't know how funny and charismatic you are. They don't know the full essence of who you are. They've only got the projection that they've got, the interpretation or the idea of who you are that they are rejecting in that moment in time. So it's never really a personal thing. It's important to remember that. And just because a person doesn't perceive the value that you hold doesn't necessarily mean that your value that you hold is not there. It's important that you remember that. Value not being perceived doesn't mean that the value is not there. I was watching a video of this violinist, world famous violinist, and there was a day where he played at a big concert. So loads of people came. They paid loads of money to go watch him live. He sold out the concert. He played amazingly. Everyone's like, you're so great. Clap, 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 clap. Throw flowers at him. He's the best. Then the day after, what he did was he dressed as a normal person and he went into a shopping mall and he played the violin. So he's playing basically the same amazing songs he was playing the night before. Now, in the normal place, in the normal mall, people were just walking past him. They were ignoring him. They're thinking, oh, look, it's another talented homeless person. Let's walk straight past him. Give him a couple pennies. People were not acknowledging the level of his gift. They weren't acknowledging the value that he held because it wasn't perceived in that environment. And it's the same thing with you. When you're getting rejected, right, it just means that person doesn't perceive your value in that moment in time. Just because they don't perceive it doesn't mean it's not there, just like the violinist. So you don't want to be taking it too personally. But naturally, of course, what's going to happen is when you do get rejected, you feel this. So like at this moment in time, I'm going to be transparent and honest with you guys. Like, Josh is amazing. He's an incredible sentient being, but he has his challenges also. So at the time of this recording, I've started a new job. So I'm working in sales. So I'm learning the new process and learning the new systems. And I've been experiencing so much rejection. Like, it's a joke. It's crazy. I was taking so many L's and I was thinking, gosh, I'm taking so much rejection and experiencing so much failure. And I'm getting to the point where I don't want to keep pursuing or trying because it hurts so much. Bro, it stings. But I was thinking, how can I get myself to continuously keep showing up? Because in showing up, in continually facing the rejection and doing the right things, eventually my processes will come together and then I'll begin to gain momentum and I'll start winning. That's how it works. So I was thinking about creative ways to continually get myself to keep taking action so that I can eventually win despite the rejection. So I've got a couple ideas that I want to share with you. So the first thing I got to share with you is this, is that when you're experiencing rejection, you have to accept that so some of those voices will come in your head that you're not good enough, there's something wrong with you, you're not good enough. Those voices will come, that victim mentality type thinking will come. And naturally, these thoughts will come because you got to realize this, that the average person thinks around about 2,000 to 3,000 thoughts per hour. So that's around about 30 to 50 thoughts per minute. So you got all these thoughts coming in your head. So you can't stop every single one of them. So sometimes if you hold that awareness, those thoughts will come. But it's important that you don't bask in those thoughts. You don't allow those thoughts to sit. So you can hear them, you can hear them, you can hear them, but you don't allow them to take root. You don't allow them to sit in your mind too long. Now, while that's happening, you want to first of all start doing what I call creating an agreement with yourself. So when you're creating an agreement with yourself, the idea is this, is that you cut a deal with yourself. Because you're experiencing so much rejection, the natural thing is that you want to stop doing the things, you want to stop the process of learning, you want to stop putting yourself out there. So you want to make an agreement with yourself. So you cut yourself a deal and say that in regards to taking action. So you say, okay, cool, right? I'm feeling so much pain right now. Let me cut a deal with myself. I will make an agreement that if I speak to or I approach 50 more clients, I will allow myself to buy myself something nice. I'll allow myself to buy a pair of trainers, or I'll allow myself some ice cream. You make an agreement with yourself. You negotiate with yourself. So you say, you know what? If you just take if you take more action, and which potentially will lead us to learning and getting the result that we want, I will attach a reward to that. Okay. And in doing this, what you're going to be doing is you're going to be refocusing yourself, in reframing your mind and redirecting your attention to the actions and the things that you need to do. So you're redirecting your attention to taking action rather than the outcome that you're getting, the outcome that you're not happy with. So in redirecting your attention to taking the steps, doing the things that need to be done, you continuously take action, and eventually you get the result that you want. So you cut that deal. Okay, cool. 50 more approaches, I get ice cream. Let's go. You go, you make the approach, you make the approach, you make the approach. And what will happen is that once you make enough approaches, you get a second wind and you build more momentum, and then you'll be able to keep going and keep going and keep going. You'll no longer feel as down as you did before because you reframed things. So just making a negotiation with yourself goes a long way. And so that's the idea for today. So whenever you're feeling rejection, you're going on that run, make it negotiate with yourself. Negotiate with yourself. Attach a reward to taking more action, and you will do it, and then you can reward yourself, and then you go again. In doing this, like incentivizing yourself when you really don't want to do it, what you're actually doing is you're callousing your mind. You're actually making your mind significantly stronger. It's at the point when you're really, really like tired and you continuously take action. That's when you begin to evolve. That's when your mind is calloused. It's kind of like when you train. So like I like going to the gym. And recently I put barbell rows back in my program. So barbell rows are like the rows. I put a little video in there. Now barbell rows involve holding the big metal bar. So I have naturally soft hands, you know what I mean? I have lovely soft hands. I was made to be weighted upon. So I've got soft hands, but because I've been holding that bar and rowing so much, I'm starting to get calluses in my hand again, right? So if you can see, I'm getting calluses in my hand. My hands are getting kind of rough, right? That comes from picking up the bar, and then, the bar is tearing my hands up, but then the skin grows back stronger. That's what callousing is, right? But the skin only comes back stronger when it gets torn apart a little bit, and I keep going. And it's the same with you. When you're persisting, when you're tired and you're thinking, I don't want to do these things, I don't want to do these tasks, but you still come and you still show up and you still give your very, very best, you begin to callous your mind, and your mind gets stronger and you're able to withstand more. Okay, this is how the evolution occurs, because it's the natural order of things for you to continuously keep showing up, keep going, keep doing the right things, taking the rejections, taking the L's. That's how you learn, that's how you evolve. So that's the idea for today. Don't take rejection personally. They're not rejecting you as a person. They're rejecting the perception that they hold of you. Accept that the negative thoughts will come. When you're tired and you're at your wit's end, create a negotiation, create an agreement with yourself. That is focused on you taking action. You'll catch that second wind. In doing so, you'll callous your mind and you become stronger.